What's up, you guys? FSC Railroad. Hey, we're over here at Southern Michigan Railroad. Check this out. We got train rides going on. We got all kind of stuff going on. We also have Orwell over here today. Orwell's my 1984 Peterbilt 362 cab over. You guys know from YouTube. Brought over here to do a meet and greet. We're gonna do some filming for the different channels as well. Get on some train rides. Got in the cab a little bit. We got everything positioned. They got it all set up to start giving train rides later. We got involved in the operation, how to get this beast started. This is a GE 44 tonner, twin engine, dual V8 Caterpillars. Check it out. We'll show you guys how we get this thing going in the morning. And boy, let me tell you, they are a little cranky. These are what kind of cab motors again?
D17000s. V8.
Switch.
First diesel locomotive or diesel engine that Caterpillar ever made that was not for a bulldozer.
Start one first, that won't matter. We gotta bleed it.
Actually, I'm gonna stand on this on the other side so I get a better
Fuel pump
brighter
on.
shot. Oh, I'm sure I could use one eventually here.
There you go. So I figured this way you don't sunburn today.
Yeah, I haven't worn a hat in quite a long while though.
Yeah.
Looks nice on you.
Appreciate it.
This engine, for some reason, we have to prime the injectors every time we start it.
Oh, okay.
So that's what he's doing right now. Maybe a big gulp.
Now look at the size of them things. Said built in 44, huh?
Yep.
Correct. Specifically, it's called a 44 tonner. It's a GE 44T. It was built to be a switching locomotive that would not need a fireman. The unions, the rail regulators, FRA, and the railroads got together and decided that anything that weighed less than 90,000 pounds, steam, diesel, or electric, would not need a fireman. So builders, General Electric, Davenport, Plymouth, other small diesel engine builders built locomotives that weighed 90,000 pounds, 89,990 pounds. So they would get under that limit so they wouldn't need a fireman in here. It's a double engine. It has two Caterpillar engines in it. When it was brand new, they were rated 150 horsepower each. We don't quite get that today, but we'll move our train.
Ugly question. How hard is it to get service parts from Caterpillar on them?
Fortunately, we got a pretty good supply of parts down stored away. So we don't have to buy too many for the engines themselves, but they do still supply parts for the sister engine of these, which was a straight 6.
Okay.
Because they did use those on bulldozers. So those parts are still available, the ones that are common. So most of the seals and stuff we can still get.
I know on the trucking side they still make parts for like the 1693 cats. That's the predecessor to the 3406.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I don't know. I mean, this being as old as it is, I would wonder.
Yeah,
Saying I'm old?
huh? Hey,
This thing's older than my dad.
there's creative solutions we've had to do. I mean, we've upgraded the fuel filters and things like that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, fire number 1.
So what he's doing is decompressing the engine.
Right.
I know it rained last night, but
We do have automatic spinners on them, but we tend to keep them closed because it just wastes tons of air.
Right. Oh yeah.
We're not running high speed.
flag in that corner. North to west.
Two of these old girls, ain't there?
You know, the older I get, the heavier these become.
Take a break. No hurry. Seriously, don't.
No.
Take a break.
The one we just picked up this year,
Oh, okay.
and we're returning that one to service now. It does run, but it's not quite up to standards yet.
Okay.
It belonged to DuPont Energy, or DuPont Chemical Plant.
Little Red.
Little Red, yeah.
That came from DuPont Chemical Plant in George Washington, Kentucky.
Yep.
Right on the Ohio River.
Part of Asbestos in Canada somewhere. This is who was the original owner. It's always been an industrial locomotive.
Yeah, it's not FRA compliant for mainline operation because it was an industrial engine. It doesn't have a bell, doesn't have a horn, doesn't
Right.
have the running board in the front, the footboard in the front. So we got a lot to work to do on it to make it usable for us.
It
But
does run and operate
yeah,
well.
and it's very unique kind of in a way. It looks so much smaller than this one, but it weighs a ton more.
Wow.
That's actually a 45 tonner. This is a 44 tonner.
Yeah.
But there's probably close to 15, 20 years technology difference in them. I'm not sure when that one was built. I don't know. I know it's the 50s, I just don't know when.
Another unique thing about it is this one has 4 traction motors. For each axle, there's an electric motor.
Right.
That one only has 2,
With a chain between
with a
the.
chain in between them.
Some of them were built even into the 50s with side rods. There'd be a traction motor on one axle, the other axle would have a side rod.
Right.
We got unlucky and ours is chain drive. Well, I say that because side rods are cool.
It looks cooler.
But it's also a maintenance headache because you got to crawl underneath the thing to lubricate the chains.
Right.
You know, we spray a tacky lube on it, just kind of like your 5th wheel grease.
Yeah.
You got to be underneath it to do it. That part kind of stinks, but we'll get to it.
It's a lot better. You don't have to worry about somebody getting their foot caught in a side rod.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, we blue flag everything. The engine's not running when we do the lubrication and all that. We don't have somebody running along next to it with a spray bottle. Did you talk about the blue one yet?
Blue one, okay. This one you might be interested in. That is a prototype locomotive made by General Motors Canada. It's Detroit powered.
What Detroit's in it? Any idea?
8V71.
Oh, okay. Old 318.
It was made in 1960. That version of it, they only made one. That's the only example.
Right.
It was made as a demonstrator unit. It went to Egypt for a while.
It toured the world.
Yeah, toured the
A lot
world.
of time in Egypt. It spent a couple of years, various railroads in Europe. Spent a little bit of time in the United States. Nobody wanted it. Even for a European control stand inside the cab, it was designed for Europeans. Nobody liked it. It was very difficult to operate. It's a hydraulic drive, which in itself makes it an oddball from anything else.
Right.
Wheel loader, I think.
I thought
think
it was
it's
an Allison like out of a bus.
Yeah, it's an Allison out of a wheel loader. Is what we looked it up to be. Or a wheel loader or like a heavy haul truck.
It ended up pretty much for the same place this was, I think. It was up in Alpena somewhere. And was it in Canada? Oh, that's right. It was Lafarge in Canada. It was Lafarge, Canada. And I'm not sure if they donated it or we bought it or whatever, but when we got it 20 years ago, it was running. There's actually video and pictures of that unit pulling our South Shore passenger car. Nobody can maintain it because anybody that knows about the thing is long gone.
What's the problem? The engine or the?
We've actually got the prime mover, the engine. We've got that to turn over. We got injectors for it, need to be set. The rail needs to be set.
Right.
Yeah,
We did have it run this spring.
Because I have a download of a 71 series. It's all of them.
Yeah.
The problem we're having with it is the air system and the control system.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Anthony. Hey, Chuck.
So the GMDH hasn't been in service since about the mid-2000s. But
I hate to interrupt, just quick, just because we didn't do any introductions. My name's Larry Wartenberg. I'm an engineer for Southern Michigan Railroad. This is Anthony Finkbeiner. He is our vice president as well as an engineer. Continue.
so the GMDH hasn't actually been used in revenue service since about the mid-2000s, roughly 2006. It was parked for reversing issues. It has a lot of electric over air control valves that were causing fits, and it got parked for that reason. Fast forward many years, the injectors were all stuck in it. It had sat about that long. Last spring, actually about a year ago, we had the injectors pulled out of it, got them fixed, rebuilt, and I believe it was in May or June. We got it all put back together. We did have it running for a very short time. I went to put water in the radiator so we could run it a little longer, and I got it about half full and the bottom of the radiator came out. It's got a hole probably about that big.
Not good.
The next step is to dismantle the front clip and get the radiator out of it and see what we can come up with for a new one. I don't know whether we're going to be able to get it fixed or have to retrofit something new in, because the engine is a one of none. It was a prototype demonstrator built, and you can't go to Napa and buy parts for that.
It's like a metal fabricator's dream right there.
There you go. There you go. Absolutely. But it is an 8V71 Detroit, and it has Asselin mining truck transmission. The thing that's unique about it for a locomotive is it has drive shafts, ring and pinions on every axle. That is something you never see on locomotives.
Right.
Usually they're at least a gearbox and a chain drive down to the axle, not a ring and pinion style setup. That's very unique.
Customers shied away from it because it wasn't necessarily a standard railroad thing. It was unproven.
Yeah.
They did make 3 double-ended versions of it, which one of them I believe is still in operation for an industry.
2 of them, I think.
2 of them?
Yeah. I think they're up in Canada. If I'm
Yeah.
correct. But that engine has actually been all the way to Egypt and back. It was a demonstrator that spent about a year over there before it came back, and it was sold to a plant up in Ontario called McKinnon Industries, and it was their plant switcher for 30-some years. They donated it to a museum up in, I believe, Toronto, and then we got it from there in about 1996, and it's been here since.
For now. Just pull it when we're ready.
I imagine it's like all industrial. See, I was thinking that's why I brought one of these shirts. Just kind of at least looks.
Yeah.
Looks like I fit in.
Set the handbrake there, you didn't even look.